Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to the Fantastic Show. We are so honored to have you here today.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm pleased to be here with you today.
MashaAllah. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
My name is Saeedah. I am the founder of Akushi Foods.
Okay.
It's a business where it was founded from the lack of access to, local food items and snacks. When I was in school in Qatar, I was lonely. Most people shared their culture through food.
Yeah.
Food and music is one thing that people use to share their culture.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't have that because there were no Nigerians there. It was just me. And it was a difficult time that I had to, find a way. It's either I took my food items before I left or, I have to look for one distant Nigerian that I know that's not a student to get it. So that's where the idea started brewing in my head. And here we are. I founded Akushi Foods.
Yeah.
We sell local food items and local snacks.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the name Akushi Foods? Like when I saw it, I was like, okay. It made me curious to be like, okay, Akushi Food, does she cook food or what happened? So how did you come up with the name?
Yeah, honestly, at first I called it Karkajia Foods.
Okay.
When I didn't register it and I just started and I had to pause to go to school.
Yeah.
So after I came back, setting it up properly, I went to CAC, said, this is the name I want. He said, you cannot, sorry. There's somebody that has Karkajia Foods and Drinks. I'm like, what? This is not nice. I actually was so sad and I could not see beyond that. But then I remembered one day that because since I'm getting into business to sell local Ariwa food items, I was like, okay, my kid's nanny, Mama Amina, I'm like, Mama Amina, come and tell me about the Hausa culture. Because from a video of subhanallah, I forgot his name, something Bunza. It's like an 8 episodes. He was saying in culture, like 3 ways to know people's culture is birth, death, and like food. So I was like, okay, come and tell me in Hausa culture, when you were growing up, since you grew up in the village, how did your parents used to eat? She said, oh well, from the murhu, they finish cooking, they come and spread the taburma, and they eat their food from the akushi. And I was like, Amina, me akushi. What's akushi?
Yeah.
She described I'm like, to kaman ƙwarya kenan? And she said, no, not ƙwarya, akushi. It's made from wood, not like calabash. And I was like, okay, interesting. So when that, creative block hit me that I don't have a name, I don't know. I even went to ChatGPT asking ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, so Ariwa people, they're, people with sarauta. Like I described, it was bringing me stuff like sarauta.
Yeah.
Different things that just didn't make sense. And I was like, what about Akushi Foods? The name didn't sit with me at first. I was talking to Qalb Salim, who did my design, and we worked on my strategy. We did this strategy without a name. Because I was telling him, okay, so this is where we are at right now with the name. He's like, okay, let's see how it goes before we end. He had already made the name Akushi Foods without me even realizing. And I'm like, but we don't have a name yet. And he's like, no,
we do.
I thought we already agreed on Akushi Foods. I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, okay, let's see. And then now I'm in love with the name. I can't see beyond that name now.
It's really a beautiful name. I think it really depicts what you do.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So, as a business owner in Nigeria and everything, after all the hustle and everything, when you go back home, where is that place that you love to be?
Honestly, my room. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, growing up, my mom would always say the room is not a place to be except when it's like nighttime to sleep. You're supposed to be in the living room. But I just like being in the room. Even though recently I don't mind being in the living room because I've made my couch, like, I find comfort in it. Dama, it's for me to lie down
and relax.
Yeah. Relax my back, relax my feet. And that's why I would opt for the room. That cozy, you're in your space. Not everybody will just walk into your room and, you know, so that's why my room is that, you know, sanctuary.
Yeah. So you must love beddings and all.
Yes, I do love beddings. I mean, I was just even thinking about it. I just came back from a trip. What did I buy myself? Bed sheets.
Wow, so you must have a lot.
Yeah, it's just that, you know, I always feel like I don't have a lot. But then if you think about it,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so there's always that one equipment in your home that, you know, you're so happy or you cherish a lot. So what would you say that equipment is? Blender.
It's so versatile and I love it. I mean, love it so much because in the blender I would blend for soups, stews. I would even make my drinks. I love drinks. Like strawberry season was just out. So I would always make this amazing strawberry drink. And I used the blender. So it's like that thing where if you enter the kitchen, like my workers, if they come and they see the blender has been used.
Yes. They know you're up.
It's me. Exactly. Because I just love it. And by extension now, I never had a food processor.
Yeah.
And recently I bought one. Amazing. So that and a blender, honestly, I would do anything and everything with it. It's like I'm cooking in Ramadan. It's like, okay, where's the blender? Where's the food processor? Like, just bring it. Because I would do my drinks, my soups. It's like sweet and savory.
Everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, recently there's been a lot of talk around kain leafy, you know, kain aiki and everything. Like, you know, the bride's family mostly like to go out and do all the furnishing, while the groom's family, most times they do the leafy and all. So what's your take on it? Should it be something that continues, or what do you think?
I'm one of those that doesn't think it should continue. I honestly don't like that because, first of all, I believe the man should be able to, you know, it's his home. He should furnish his home. It's where he's going to live. It's not like she is now his responsibility. And, you know, so it's another thing for parents, the bride's parents, to gift her items, but it's another thing for you to like enforce it on the parents because she's leaving. They've done their best. They've done all that they could, and now on to you, responsibility. You know, and for the lefe, per se, I mean, whether they bring the lefe or not. The responsibility
of clothing her
has gone to the husband.
Yes.
So it's something that the husband would have to do anyway. So what I don't like is that what's the word that we have it? I forgot the word. But you know, it's like people show off with lefe and it makes, you know, inferiority, superiority, complex in society where, you know, marriages have been called off because the lefe is not up to standard. Like, okay, you know the capability of this person you decided to marry. So why base everything just based on lefe? Yes. Why are you basing it on the lefe when you know that is truly what this man can afford? So is it that you're going to go to his house and still say you expect those unrealistic things you requested for the lefe? It doesn't. It honestly doesn't make sense to me personally, because, as I said, it's either way going to be his responsibility. But to say that you have to bring it and present it, and for the entire, not just your immediate family, it's like a whole event. They're bringing lefe, and then they will open, and then they will bring how many suitcases? The amount of suitcases don't make sense to me.
They don't. I always say, like, if you're going to bring that amount of suitcases, make sure there's a box room somewhere in the house because, like,
typical me. My lefe, I don't even remember the exact amount of suitcases, but it's like my dad gifted me, my husband's family gifted me. Putting it together, it would be almost 20 suitcases. Where do you put such?
No. You end up leaving it in your house.
Yes. Yeah. Some are in my mother's room, some are in my house, and the ones that were in my house, some of them, the handle, because of, you know how damp Abuja is.
Yes.
The handles all removed. Like good quality brand suitcase, but because of the weather and the dampness of the houses, the handles removed. So it's rather unfortunate after, you know, spending all this money to get good items.
Yeah.
It's like
how many years would you actually use to finish clothes of, like,
it's rather being done slowly. And especially certain people don't like I don't know how often Super Blisco releases
every month or so
because I don't follow it, but certain people follow it. So imagine you do lefe and you put 20 supers and your wife cares that she has to wear the latest super for every event. So before she finishes those 20, it is now the man is still buying and buying and buying. So, and then she would eventually say those that she has, they're out of date. She doesn't even want to use it anymore. So to me, you can see where the logic does not make sense to me.
And on the other extreme, I've heard of an instance where they said the bride's family furnished a home with Nigerian-made furniture, and the guy was like, "No, I'm not going to accept it because that's not what I want. You know, I didn't know you were going to use Nigerian-made, and he has a certain kind of furniture that you actually wanted." So, like,
subhanallah. Then he should just he should furnish it. It's his home. It's where his wife is going to live. His kids are going to be raised. Because they shouldn't tell me the lie that they will, you know, refurnish the house before their kids grow up. Like, because what would you do to your
after spending a lot of money on the furniture?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. So, what do you think about the bride's family furnishing the entire house? You know, maybe there are 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms in the house, and they all put beds and everything and furnish everything, you know, not allowing room for growth or anything.
Exactly. I mean, if they must furnish it too, I don't believe it's a good idea to furnish the entire home. They could furnish, 2-3 rooms, depending on the size of, but I feel like there should be a spare room. That spare room, and if they don't have a box room, can serve as that. And as they're growing, they can turn to a kids room. Even if they have another room they want to put the kids, it can be a kids play area, because kids need the space. They're humans that are like everywhere. They're jumping here, jumping there. They have toys, they have clothes. You're going to see that they even occupy more space than you, the adults. So definitely I feel like there should always be space, room for growth. For people to have their kids space and all that, because it wouldn't make sense to have a whole bed in your room, in your house, that after a year, 2, depending on when you're looking how to, what do you do with it? It's not like we have a storage culture here. It's not like we have storage facilities around to put these items.
Great. So what do you do for self-development? Like, do you like to listen to podcasts? Do you read books? What do you do to make yourself better?
I watch more videos than listen or videos.
Yeah.
And there was a time, not so much now, but TED Talks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value in
Mhm.
TED Talks. I mean, it's free, and there's from all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to learn, see different cultures, learn from different people. You get to see that you're not alone, and you learn techniques to cope as who you are. Like one of the standout TED Talk I heard. I don't remember her name, but she wrote a book, Quiet. She's an introvert, and she was talking about how introverts can be excellent people out there. Like it's not just extroverted people, and the way she speaks, you can resonate with her.
Yeah.
You could see, okay, understand even yourself better.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of things, I really enjoy watching it, or on YouTube.
Yeah.
I watch people that are successful, hear what they have to say, what they did, how they did it. Sometimes it's good to hear from people that have experience.
Yeah.
That way you get to see, okay, this either a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a struggle.
Yeah.
It's just the process.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a, I've lost my touch with reading. I really wish I would bring it back.
Yeah, you will. Just a matter of time.
They're valuable books. That, like for now, I began to read the book Leap. In a world of businesses where everybody can copy what you're doing. So it's kind of trying to teach you how to move around it, since definitely they're going to be copycats.
Definitely.
So it's interesting. I'm stuck. I can't move beyond, the first few pages. But it's something I really want to dive deeper into because there's value in it.
Value.
Yes.
Yeah. So that being said, like who are the people you would say have shaped your thoughts, your thinking? Who are the people that have impacted you in your life, business wise or personally? Like top 3 people.
Is it cliche to say parents are part of it?
No.
Okay. Yes, I mean my parents. They are, you learn valuable lessons from your parents regardless. So I got to see what works, what didn't work. You're learning. We're watching them. They may not say it, but you're learning. You're watching.
Definitely.
And so I got to learn from that experience, just being their daughter. And, my mother too, because of some things that maybe she doesn't have or things she wishes she knew. When she's, telling me that in a, calm, comforting way, since you're young, it kind of keeps settling in.
Yeah.
So it's there.
Yeah.
So you said top 3.
Yeah. So your parents, and then
business wise, right? It shouldn't be difficult, right?
It shouldn't be. Yeah.
Well, I have my coach Othman. He makes you see the light. Like so many things, I had limiting beliefs, but being in his mastermind group, honestly, it's eye-opening. It's enlightening. I got to see there's a whole, the world is vast.
Yeah.
And there are things out there you could do. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be in a straight line. Like before now, I would just focus on what's the problem. This is the solution I want, and that has to be the solution.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Mm-hmm.
that does not have to be the solution.
There are other ways.
There are other ways.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes me see that, because whenever we're conversing and I see that coming up, I attended boss summit, boss workshop, like then it's started to make me also think that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think in the direction of there's a problem. This problem is, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm finished. No. So it makes me really open up my thinking.
Yeah.
The options are there. There are things you just have to think. Don't be a stalker. Don't say this thing did not work out.
That's all. I'm not willing to try again.
I'm not willing to, I don't have this. I cannot look for a plan B.
It has to be this way or no way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So honestly, he's one of the people that made me realize that there's that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be strict.
It can be flexible.
It can be flexible. You have to even we learn it, we read it. I've known that to be a business person, one of the characteristics is being adaptable. But reading it, writing it, and implementing is different. The two
Totally.
Exactly, because I have a master's in entrepreneurship and innovation management, but it's like I have the knowledge, I'm not implementing. So being around him now, it is helping me put the knowledge, implementation together, and I can see like things moving.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. So this your coach and your parents.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being here. I really totally enjoyed our session together, and I hope when I call upon you again, you would be willing to come and share more of your people need to see these things. So alhamdulillah, thank you so much.
Inshallah. You can always count on me to show up, because you've touched topics that are dear to me, and I loved chatting with you.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.